Once you start creating, it almost flicks a switch. And I said to him, I don't feel like I have anything to say. And boy, was I wrong. And I find myself trying to figure out how I can turn all aspects of my life into a video. My name's Jake, and I'm coming up on that first milestone of 1,000 subscribers. I'm currently at 977. So I thought it a great opportunity to talk about how YouTube has been changing my life with less than 1,000 subscribers. So let's talk about the positives first. Creative outlet. Talking about the things that I like and having that creative outlet has allowed me to feel a lot more positive about things. Having this space on YouTube to share my thoughts and feelings about things happening in my life has made me feel a lot more satisfied in general. It feels really good to pour some energy into making a video and putting it out there for people to see. Since I started making YouTube videos regularly, my communication skills have improved dramatically. And I think that's because I'm just sitting down and talking to the camera on a regular basis. And I find that this actually spills over into my life elsewhere. I'm able to talk to people more effectively. I'm able to talk about my feelings in a more communicative way. And I've sort of got my thoughts on things more organised. And overall, I just feel better able to express myself. It's also given me a sense of purpose and a direction in my life. Before I was making YouTube videos consistently, I was quite depressed, to be honest with you. I used to work full-time as a freelance filmmaker, and that sort of went down the drain. And since then, I had no direction in life, and I sort of felt like I was just wasting my life. But since being able to pour all of my energy into making some YouTube videos, I feel a lot more creatively satisfied. I'm able to carry on working on my skills, improving my filmmaking techniques, whilst also seeing my channel grow. It reminds me of playing RuneScape and working on my skills. When I load up my analytics, it's like, say, looking at my wood cutting level. The more time I spend chopping logs, the more my wood cutting level is going to go up. And the same with my YouTube analytics. The more time that I spend making videos, the more my analytics will grow. There's also been a lot of ongoing learning with making YouTube videos. I've been able to really focus on making better thumbnails. I've been working on my script writing, and script writing is something I find really challenging. So it's really good to actually focus time and energy into improving my script writing abilities. And the same goes for the thumbnails as well. I was very bad at making thumbnails, and to be honest, I still am quite bad at making thumbnails. But I do see myself slowly improving over time, much like my woodcutting level on RuneScape. So overall, I think it's making me a more well-rounded video creator in general, and I'm able to bring more skills to the table. Making YouTube videos consistently has also taught me a lot about perseverance. I recently set myself a challenge to make videos daily for 3 months straight. And I tell you what, that was a crash course in perseverance. There were days I did not feel like making YouTube videos, but I still made them anyway. And just doing something that I will say I will do has made me a lot more confident in general with my own abilities. Making YouTube videos has also given me a lot more structure to my life. I play video games less, and I plan work more. Prior to the start of this year, I was lying around thinking, what have I done with my life? I have achieved nothing, and I've wasted my time on this earth. But since I've been making YouTube videos, I've been planning out my days, I've been structuring everything on my whiteboard, making myself to-do lists, and I've been a lot more active towards my goals. And I've been finding the knock-on effect of this has been actually a greater sense of well-being. I don't feel as depressed as I did before. I actually feel quite positive in general now, and I feel a lot more like I just want to get things done. I mean, I've got this big whiteboard where I've got all of my written to-dos, I've got all the upcoming videos, I've got huge lists on my phone and my laptop of video ideas, and overall I just feel like I've got a lot of work to do now. I've also found some communities on Discord with people who are also trying to grow their channel and are under 1,000 subscribers. And this is something I was looking for in my YouTube journey. I wanted to look to connect with other people of a similar size and similar dedication level to me, to share our experiences and learning with each other so we can both grow together. So this is one of the main messages I've had to tell myself. It's never too late to start. I thought it was too late to start back in 2012 when I saw big gaming YouTubers, and now it's 2024. Really focusing on the message that it's never too late to start will take away any limiting beliefs that you're having about yourself. This has helped give me a sense of self-belief in myself. It is never too late to start. It's only too late once you're dead. And we're still alive and kicking right now. If you've got a burning passion that you want to make YouTube videos, then just start today. Because really, we haven't got enough time to be waiting around for tomorrow, because who knows what's going to happen tomorrow. So start today. Another positive of making these YouTube videos is it's helping me discover who I am and the things I like to talk about. When I started making videos in 2023, I had no idea who I really was, and I was just sort of sharing my angst and worries of the world. And I really feel like that this was a mandatory process to go through, as it allowed me to share my feelings and commit them to the SD card and get them out there, and they were no longer hauling up in here. And with my emotional burdens out of the way, I'm now able to focus on being creative and talking about the things that have improved my life. Now the thing is, I still haven't really figured out who I am, but I'm a lot more clear on the things I want to do these days. So it's an ongoing process. So let's talk about some of the negatives that have come with making YouTube videos consistently. Well, for starters, I have locked myself up in this office for the past 5 months and I haven't really done much else. I know this is totally all my own fault and the way that you make content might be completely different to me, but I like to isolate myself and I've been just sat in this office making YouTube videos, and I honestly have not done much else other than make YouTube videos, go to work and go to the gym. That's about it. Another negative is I think about making content at all times of the day. If I don't have my laptop or my phone near me or a notepad to jot down ideas, they sort of just float around my head until I note them down. And I find myself trying to figure out how I can turn all aspects of my life into a video, which I don't think is very healthy. And another problem that I find is if I take a day off from working on my YouTube channel, I feel like a total failure. Like yesterday, I took a day off. I decided I'm not going to do anything today, and I was quite exhausted in general. And I just got to the end of the day and I felt like, why have I wasted this day? I should have worked on something towards my goals, and I was just sat there beating myself up. I've also found that consistently working on YouTube has given me an addiction to my analytics. And I feel like most people get this problem if they're working on YouTube, because you really want to just keep checking to see if any progress has happened. But a lot of the time, as a small channel, there is no progress. You might be getting like 1-2 views an hour, and it is a little bit crushing to see your videos not performing. But this is all just part of the learning experience. We're trying to work out what people want to see and what you want to create and trying to intersect those two things. And the only way we can figure that out is through experimentation. But I do find checking analytics to be a sort of black hole. If I let myself go in a spiral of checking every video, checking the analytics, I'll be doing it for a long time, and I won't feel good about it. So while I'm on this topic, I'll give you this piece of advice, and it's actually to focus on what you're doing, your actions, not the outcomes. So your actions might be turning on the camera, recording, making a script, planning something. Those are the true wins. The outcomes, we don't really have any control over the outcomes, and that's if people view or subscribe to your channel. We have no control over that, really. And I know I really struggle with this, but trying to focus my mind on, just making something is a win. It's very challenging, but it is worth trying to shift your mindset into that. I also find that I'm more addicted now to YouTube more than ever. I mean, I've been a consumer of YouTube since it came out, really. But now I find myself, I'm only on YouTube, and I'm like, every video that I come across, I'm like sort of like using as a reference. I'm researching, I'm thinking, how can I improve on what they've done? How can I take elements of what they've done and put it in my video? But it's been very consuming, and sometimes it is nice to just be a passive consumer. But once you start creating, it almost flicks a switch and suddenly you're analysing everything. So let's talk about some tips in case you want to start your YouTube channel. So the biggest tip that I could give you for starting your own YouTube channel is start easy. Put a camera down and start recording. It doesn't matter what equipment you've got. It could be your phone. Put your phone down and start recording. The easier that you can make this for yourself, the better. You want to set it up so there's as little barrier to entry as possible. If you have to get out all sorts of equipment, set up all sorts of lighting, you're not going to do it when you start. You want to be able to just plonk your camera down and start talking to camera. And then you can slowly add more complicated things as time goes on and you feel like you will commit to this. But the whole time that you're just trying to get into the routine and build it up as a thing that you now do, Make it as simple as possible. The next tip is just start making something. If you're not making something, just put the camera down and record, like I said. You won't know what you want to make until you start making. And you might find that when you start making videos, you're actually like, I don't want to talk about this. I want to talk about this other thing. And then try that and see if you like that. But just start making something today, because you won't figure out who you are until you start making. Trust me, you will figure it out along the way. I'm still figuring it out too. And if you have absolutely no idea where to start and what to talk about, or you feel like you just have nothing to say, then just talk about what you know. A few years ago, a friend messaged me and he said, "Why aren't you making more YouTube videos? Why don't you make some more?" And I said to him, "I don't feel like I have anything to say." And boy, was I wrong. Because as soon as I started actually making things, I found out I have actually quite a lot of things to say. I just felt like what I had to say wasn't worthy of people's attention. But now that I've actually started, I feel quite happy that I did. But I did start by just talking about things that I know. And, they're just the things you do on a day-to-day basis. What you do isn't what other people do. So just start by sharing that and go from there, and then branch out. And when you feel like you can, try and set yourself a clear sort of direction for everything that you want to make. And this might come in time. For me, I've realised I want to talk about things that have improved my life and could improve your life. But I didn't really think about that until I'd made a bunch of other videos not related to that topic. But if you do come into this knowing exactly what you want to talk about, you're already ahead of a lot of people, and just start making that. But if you find you start making that and you think, this isn't for me, don't stop creating. Just start creating things about other topics and see if those sit well with you. Another tip that I've been trying to embrace with my own work is to just give things time. You might be doing the right things. It might just not have been enough time for it to have shown some success. This can be quite a difficult thing to follow through with, because when you're not seeing instant results, it can be quite crushing. But trust me, just give things time. Sometimes videos take a long time to find their audience. And when that video does find its audience, it will get the views. That's one of the great things about YouTube, is you can upload a video today and a year from now, it might start picking up traction, but you never know. So just give things time. And also, you just got to give things time in general. Time for your skills to develop, time for audiences to find your channel, time for your way of writing to develop. All your skills are going to improve over time. And the longer you keep up, the more of a library of videos you'll have, and the more chances you'll have of someone coming across your channel and really liking what you do. And the last tip that I want to give is don't let yourself obsess over what these YouTube gurus say. Because I find myself watching their channels all the time, but I really find it's just a mask for me trying to find that thing that I'm doing wrong. I'm looking for validation to say, oh, I was doing this wrong the whole time. It was just that little thing that I had to do. They do have lots of great advice, but I find myself just chain watching their channel, and I don't really find it that useful in the end. But I do think you should listen to some of the advice they have to say, but the main message that I'm trying to say is don't let it consume your life. Sometimes you just got to figure these things out for yourself. So while we're on the topic of having clear direction for your channel, I've got a really great example of what it's like to create with no direction. And that's when I made videos every day for 3 months. So click this video to find out what that was like, and if it was a total failure or if it grew my channel. And I'll see you there.